Good morning, welcome back to the channel. So this is the second day now of my trip around the Cornish coastline. We're only doing an overnight one, so we're doing about 3 photographic shoots. And yesterday, if you joined me on that video, then wow, the weather was horrendous yesterday. We really struggled. So today I'm going to tick off another part of the Southwest Coastal Path. I'm gradually working my way around it. And also we're going to be talking about scouting. What apps I use, what tools I use, and also with thanks to Kent Faith, K&F Concept, then I've got a new little toy to play with today out on the coastal path. So I've just made breakfast, so I'm going to enjoy my coffee, pack up my camera gear, and I'll see you out on the coastal path. Well, here we are. What a fantastic, stunning day. I've actually come down here today partly because I want to scout the location, but also because the main thing I want to do is clock up a few miles on the coastal path. The scene behind me is absolutely amazing, really nice to look at. We got some great waves breaking and coming in again still, and also some great scenery on the coastline. Now, I've been using this monocular to actually try and look at and find compositions and different places to go. And you might think that this is a bit of a strange tool to really use for scouting, but to be honest, I'm the only person I've come across that actually does this. And when my old monocular broke recently, I reached out to K&F Concept, who very kindly let me have this one to use. And the reason that I use it is because quite often with my landscape photography, you don't know exactly where you're going. So you're looking for different things in the landscape, different places to reach, different points to go down to. And I find that rather than walk all the way to a point to find that it's not really what I thought it was, sometimes it's good to zoom in and have a look at some of the closer detail. Now I can see down in the valley just below me that there's a stream running down through, and it drops off and then down into the sea. Now I can't see exactly whether or not I'll be able to use that as a leading line to go all the way down, but I've certainly picked out a point where I might be able to use it for some foreground interest. I also want to scout this place down here for another photograph I might want to take later on. At the moment the lighting's not right for it, but maybe I can do something in a minute with this stream down here. So let's walk down and have a look, and we'll see if I manage to find somewhere new for a bit later on. Well, it's certainly worth coming down here. This is a really fantastic opportunity to take some photographs. It's a wonderful spot, but some of the problems and concerns that I've got is the technical problems with this image. I've got extreme contrast range, but we've got some really wonderful things as well. We're also shooting into the light, and I'm really worried about that lens flare. But this is really quite an interesting and unusual situation to be in. There's also a load of cattle around. I'm a little bit concerned about where they're going to go and what they're planning to do. They seem okay at the moment. Unfortunately, they've moved off because I would like to have kept the cattle in the composition really, but never mind. So as I see it at the moment, we've got this sweep of the valley coming down from both sides, from the left and from the right, which is giving us a nice bowl, a nice sort of like shape leading into the image. But I don't want that to be too much of it, so I'll probably, in post-production, I'll probably crop some of the bottom off. I'm going to set this and compose it as a 16:9 anyway, because we might just get away with it being a 16:9, but we'll just have to see how that works out. The problem that I've got is the light coming in. It's making it really quite difficult to see. As for the top of the frame, I don't want any sky in it. I'm going to crop that sky out. And then what we're going to do is we've got the big rock in the foreground, and then we've got the rushing of the sea. We've got the spray coming up the side of the cliff. We've got breaking waves, and then in the background again, we've got another headland with some more breaking waves and stuff behind. So it's got some nice layering to this photograph as well. And it's just really deciding how we're going to deal with those technical issues. you know, I'm actually going to put some sky in. The reason I'm going to include a bit of sky is quite simply because I've got this mist coming up through. So there we have it. First use the binocular to find us a decent location and pick out some details. I've got some other tools I want to show you, but first of all, we've got to get up onto the headland. So that brings me up to my next location where I'm stood now. It didn't really take me long to get here. It wasn't that far away from the last position. I want to talk about the other scouting tools I use. And this one's a little bit more traditional in that, like a lot of photographers, I use something called the photographer's Ephemeris. I also use photo pills. Either of these apps really perform the same with similar sort of functions in that they can show you the direction of the light. But I struggle to do it when it's at home sat in front of the computer. I like to use them out in the field and work out where good things are going to happen for me when I need them to. So looking at this point up here, I've been looking for an evening composition, and I know that looking at where the sunset is and everything's going to help with that. Now I don't know exactly if this location is going to be the right spot, so we're going to use that tool to work it out. So I've been setting up the photographer's Ephemeris, otherwise known as TPE. Now I need to tell you that actually I'm not sponsored by TPE anyway at all. It's just a tool that I choose to use. Same with photo pills, both of them work in a similar way. Now these apps enable you to mark your position on an overview of the map, but they also show on there the position of the stars, the moon, the sun. And it's the sun that I'm interested in this composition. So I should be able to record my screen so you can see exactly what it is I'm doing. Okay, so if we have a look at this now up on the screen, we can see that we've got Prydanek Wallace, and that's pretty much where we're stood. So that blue circle spot is exactly where we are. Right on the edge of this headland, looking all the way down these coves. So from what we could see in front of us before, where we've got all these waters raging in and all these waves coming forward, we can see what we're going to be looking at. So we can see down the coast, and we can map that with what we can see on the app as well. But if I zoom out a little bit, put that over to one side so it's not in our way, we can see the orange line. Now that orange line on there is actually sunset. So sunset tonight should be 17:52. And as we slide our finger along the little slider at the bottom, it'll show the position of the sun, or the relative position of the sun, and how it's getting there. And we can see that we run into golden hour just around 5 o'clock, and then it just runs through for another 50 minutes, and eventually we hit sunset. Now already I can see a potential problem with this composition for tonight, because I'm looking for a scene where we can get that beautiful light coming in and we can get all this nicely lit up. And that's certainly going to do that, but it might not be doing it when I think it will. And the reason for that is because you can see that orange line's cutting across a piece of headland. So we know when the sun actually goes down, this will be in shadow potentially. So that might cause us an issue. So nevertheless, there is a potential photograph here. I may well come back and look at it. I don't know. But like I say, that's a picture for another, that's a video for another day, because this is a scouting mission. So I can work out exactly where I may want to be tonight and at what sort of time that sun's going to set. Maybe it'll work for me, maybe it won't. Right, there's some other places I want to go and look at. So carry on doing a bit of scouting. We might find somewhere better than this for tonight's sunset photograph. Well, I've just stopped for lunch. I needed it as well. That last section that I just walked over was really quite hard going. Anyway, it's also given me an opportunity to talk about the next tool that I use, because if you remember, we use the monocle to go and find a location that we may want to use some foreground interest and give us some opportunities. And we did that, and that worked out reasonably well. And then we went on looking for potential locations for tonight's photography. And I managed to find a location that I thought might work out. I did take some photographs of it this morning as well, but hopefully going back later on will yield far better results. But it's important to have some way of recalling that information, and that's where my mobile phone comes into it. So whilst I've been sat here, sometimes I do it at the time, but whilst I've been sat here today, I've just put in on there some field notes, as I call them. So I put down very brief details: sunset shoot, Pradanik, the date, a rough idea of what the photograph's going to look like or the direction that I'm looking in, and then also the screenshot from the photographer's Ephemeris, which just gives me that sort of location guide and shows the directions that the sun will be coming in. So hopefully today's scouting trip has worked out really well. If you want to find out if that's true, then subscribe to the channel, because the next video is going to be exactly that. It's going to be tonight's shoot. So until then, get out, enjoy your photography, and I'll see you very soon in that next video.